But everything begins before we get into any type of block that's going to affect the schematics of the play, we need to understand what it's like to block with great leverage. And there's a progression that we do. We do these drills every week. There's an element that these drills are involved every day. And this is the progression that it begins. It begins with a drill that we call 4-point strike. Some people call it 6-point strike. We call it 4-point strike. Our blockers are going to be loaded up with their toes dug in the ground, their knees in the ground, and their fingertips are going to be rested in the grass. I'm going to give 3 whistle commands. Every time I pop the whistle, you're going to see the blocker tighten it with tight elbows and tight thumbs. He's going to accelerate his face to get right down the middle of this blocker. He's going to bow his neck. He's going to arch his back. Then he's going to hold that position at the top. All we're doing is focusing on the strike. I want you to feel what it's like to deliver a blow. This is before we do anything on our feet. So let's watch number 73 down here at the bottom of our screen. He gives us a really good picture of this. So what you're going to see Kevin do is at the snap of the ball, once again, it's all about the tightness of his strike. He's not focused necessarily on coming completely out of his hips. He's just trying to get his eyes on the block. He's trying to get his thumbs and his elbows tight. And we're going to reset. Here comes the next one. And then here comes the final one. Once again, the hip roll happens naturally. The key piece is, this is a really good rabbit right here. But we have a little bit of a softer rabbit that's making him come all the way undone. We want to make sure that we have a firm target for our blocker to strike. Now, you look at a decent finish here. Obviously, the rabbit's affecting this drill. We got a good finish here. This is a really poor finish. We've got a rounded back. We've got our eyes looking down on the block. This is not what we're trying to get out of it, okay? But once again, watching the good and the bad. Next, we start to get the blocker on his feet into a drill progression that we call fit drive. Fit drive begins in the demeanor that you ended the last drill in. So in other words, once again, getting our eyes down here to number 73, Kevin's got tight elbows. He's got tight thumbs. His eyes are on the block. He's eliminated the defender's ability to separate. He's playing pad under pad. He has won the vertical leverage battle. He has won the horizontal leverage battle. He's in as good a shape as we could ask for. Once again, 64 is giving us a decent look in here. What we love with Kevin is his knees are inside of his ankles. His toes are slightly out. You're going to see him run as we get going, but that's ideal posture. We know that what this posture will do with our leaning over our front knee and not having our knees inside of our ankles, it's naturally going to force us to bend at our waist, which we don't want. Here on the very end, this is exact opposite of everything that we want, right? So let's get our eyes down here to number 73. There's 2 tempos to fit drive for us. Number 1 is what I just call a march. When I pop the whistle, the guys are going to march and over-exaggerate their knee drive, and we will snap the defender out at the very top to reinforce physicality. Then the next angle is what you're going to see, which is a true drive. We're going to run off the ball, and we're going to try to create knockoff. So let's watch 73 down here at the bottom. There is knee drive. My apologies. There is knee drive. There is run through this block. But notice he never lets his elbows flare out. His pad level does not rise up. There is a force off the ball. Knees are still inside of their ankles. There's not a waddle, and we're maintaining power through. And you see at the very end, at the end of the whistle, we're going to snap that defender off of us, okay? Now, the next evolution of these leverage drills is what we call 2-man strain. So to review, we've worked on getting to the upper body fit, maintaining the upper body fit as we drive through. Now, what we're getting to here is the natural sticking point that happens at every one-on-one block, to where we have come out of our stance, we have fit our aiming point, but the defender has accelerated at us, right? We don't block non-moving targets. This is like a car crash every snap in the run game. And so this drill, 2-man strain, is designed for us to feel the stick and strain through it to where there's no hesitation or pitter-pattering feet. So once again, the guys who are up with the bags, their job is the same. They want to provide enough resistance to make the blocker work. the blocker has to maintain that same fit drive position that we just talked about. The guys behind, the bracers for this, are not trying to kill the blocker. What they are trying to do is provide just enough resistance to make that blocker feel the strain of this block. And we want to see the blocker climb from low to high as he accelerates his feet through. Once again, let's get our eyes on number 73. Once again, this drill is called two-man strain. So you can feel the knee drive. You can feel the elbows getting tighter. You can feel the thumbs getting tighter. This drill is designed to make the blocker strain. I don't mind the tightness in the pad level of 64, but what I don't like is that these are more pitter pattern. This is the difference between knee drive on the right and foot drive on the left. Really good picture for us to see. Now, on the far left side, this is exactly what we do not want. This is a bend at the waist and not the knees. This is a foot pitter patter. There's no knee drive, and you can see the hesitation and the different levels of what we're trying to get done across these leverage blocks. So the next level of this is, okay, we've been able to have great leverage. We've started with great leverage. It's just about moving the defender. But now the leverage is going to change. And the first way that we change this leverage is with a drill progression that we call leverage switch. At the pop of the whistle, you're going to see the blockers who are all in great fit drive demeanor start accelerating themselves towards the track. At the pop of the whistle, the guys who are the rabbits are going to fit underneath and get their leverage and start driving the opposite direction. Each blocker is going to end up getting 2 blocks within the rotation. Now, I'm sure you all have done this drill before, but we really believe that every block in the run game comes back to our ability to understand and fight for leverage every snap. So you're going to see some good and some bad as we work along here. So as the whistle goes, we're accelerating our feet. There goes the pop of the whistle. And then it's important for the blockers to refit with low pad level and inside pad level. This refit here on the far side with these blockers, this is a really good refit. Get inside and get rolling. Whistle's going to go again. Get inside and get rolling. And then obviously this group will finish. Okay, you see a mix of some good, some bad. Every time we go to fit and refit, we should get back to the same fit drive position. We want to scramble with speed and aggression to get leverage. And now the last angle of the leverage progression is a drill that we call stick like glue. What I would argue is maybe one of the most important drills that we do. The defender is going to, instead of just being this resistant dummy adding pressure into the blocker, he's going to start to change and attack on the blocker's outside halves. So now as a blocker, I not only want to continue to accelerate myself as vertically as I can through the defender, but I'm also going to slide my eyes and my hands to pressure. I want to be able, in a perfect world, to keep every block that I find on the angle that I find them. In these cases, in the drill like stick like glue, we found these defenders on a vertical line. And so our gauge for success is to continue to knee drive, to play on his side of the line of scrimmage, to create that knockback, to stay on the run and eliminate separation, all while sliding my eyes into pressure so that I stay attached and stay on the move. So let's watch the blocker on the right, number 51. As he begins to accelerate, you can feel him gaining ground into the defender. The defender's trying to shuck and throw and put his head into the gap that he's trying to play into. The blocker keep adding force. Stay on the run. Continue to play on his side of the line of scrimmage. Now, what you see on the left-hand side is 2 lateral. This is just shuffling. This is a waist bender on the left-hand side. Our elbows are starting to flare. If that defender, who's the rabbit in the white jersey on the left, really wanted to shuck this blocker's shoulder pads and fall in this gap, we'd have an issue because we're not in great fit drive demeanor. This is one of the most important drills that we do. Once again, we call it stick like glue.